Looking outside the windows right now of our beautiful 3rd Avenue studios in Midtown Manhattan, and I see this race car, a legitimate NASCAR. Insurance King is, I guess, they're the big sponsor. It's written all over the car. So this gentleman who's sitting right in front of me has been on my show a few times in the past. Cop, lieutenant, out in Las Vegas for many years. But he started this organization called the Wounded Blue. And you guys know how much I care about and love our courageous men and women in blue, which is honored again less than 2 weeks ago at Frankie Russo's place. Russo's on the Bay with Paul Morrow and Bo Dietl by the retired DEA. We've got a big event coming up with Scott Monroe and the active DEA coming up in October. But my relationships with the sergeants, with Vincent Ballalong, obviously the... all the attention we paid to this Eric Duran case in New York City. So, if listen to me long enough, that the cops, I love the cops, love them. Part of the reason why I hate this mayor is because he doesn't like the police. But Randy Sutton is a great cop, has been a great cop, retired now. Lieutenant, and are you still living, Randy, in Las Vegas?
I am.
You are, but you're from New Jersey originally?
I was a cop in New Jersey for 10 years before I went to Vegas and did 24 years there.
Wow. So where in Jersey were you?
Princeton.
Ah.
I was a Princeton police officer.
Yeah, not Princeton University. You worked the streets.
No, the real town of Princeton. That was my hometown. I was a cop there for 10 years, a patrolman for 6, and a detective for 4. And then started my career all over again in Vegas, where I was no longer bored as a police officer.
Well, I'm sure not, because I have to imagine the mean streets of Princeton, New Jersey, not exactly Newark, but in Vegas, even though it's a lovely area, and those residential areas in and around the Strip where you probably lived, or live, I should say, are very, very nice. I've worked with many people over the years in both New York and Florida who now live in Vegas, and they love it. They love it. But there's a lot of tawdry stuff going on in and around that city, which you've seen firsthand. Weren't you injured at one point?
I am a survivor of 5 shootings.
5?
And, right, so you know what? I left Princeton because I was bored as a cop, right? And I was still on probation in Vegas when I was in my first shooting when a 15-year-old tried to ambush me.
Why were you on probation?
I was on probation as a
cop, when you first
cop.
start, right.
No, I wasn't on probation.
Right, I say, what did you do? So a 15-year-old kid in Vegas tried to kill you.
Yes.
And how did you respond to that?
So I was in a foot pursuit with him. He was in a stolen car. He was a gangbanger. And as I came around the corner of the building that I was chasing him, he was laying in wait for me. And as I came around, he was pointing his gun at me. And he was right next to a building. I fired. And my bullet zinged right by his ear and hit the building behind him, and a piece of stucco hit him in the head, and he thought he was shot, and he couldn't throw that gun down fast enough.
Wow.
And that's when I realized that you're not in Kansas anymore, Toto.
But in one of these 5 shootings, if I remember correctly, it's been a couple years since you've been here, you sustained some pretty serious injuries, or no? Is that not true?
No, but what ended my police career was I suffered a stroke in my police car on Las Vegas Boulevard.
Wow.
And that was the scariest moment of my life. I literally was laying on the pavement, unable to move, unable to talk, as tourists are walking by me, taking pictures of me, laying there helpless in my uniform.
Well, what happened? Did you find out what happened medically afterwards?
Yeah. So like I said, I did 24 years with Las Vegas Metro. I loved being a cop, my whole entire adult life. And being a Vegas cop, man, it was fun, I got to tell you. But it had its challenges, and 3 weeks before the stroke, my mother died in my arms. And
I'm sorry.
2 months before that, I was in another fatal shooting.
Jeez.
So there was a lot going on, but I was literally driving down Las Vegas Boulevard. I had a young patrol officer with me, and I'm talking to him like I'm talking to you, and suddenly I felt my brain slowing down.
You felt it.
And I started talking slower, and I realized I was having a stroke. So I got out of the car.
Yeah.
I said, get me medical. I'm having a stroke. And I got out of the car and then collapsed to the pavement, speaking gibberish, and then unable to speak and move altogether. And I got to tell you, I've been in some frightening stuff, as you might well imagine, but I was never more scared than that. And I wasn't afraid of dying. Said I was afraid of living like that.
Oh.
And but once again, that angel that's been on my shoulder my entire career was with me again. The clot went through my brain, did its damage, and I thought I was going to go back to work. And then I'm in the hospital for a week. the doctor comes in, and I'm feeling pretty good. He says, "How you feeling, Randy?" I said, "I feel pretty good, man. I'm ready to go.
Go back to work."
And he said, "I have to tell you this. Nothing that we did here is going to preclude you from walking out here and having a heart attack or a stroke because you have a very serious heart condition, and you need to prepare for your own mortality." And I didn't expect that, Sid, and I realized that I was never going to be a cop again.
How many years? How long ago was this? I'm sorry.
This is I did 34 years total.
No, when did the cop tell you this? How many years ago?
I'm sorry, say it again.
When did you find out this information from the doctor? I should say?
About a week after the
Well, how
stroke.
long ago was this?
Oh, 2010.
So, okay, so he said you've got a serious heart condition. Last I checked, if my math is pretty good, that's 16 years ago.
Yeah, I did. Well, I had quadruple bypass surgery a couple years ago.
Oh, you did?
So it's been, but you know what? I was given a great gift, Sid. But what happened after my stroke is what changed the trajectory of my life, that my own department turned its back on me and said, "We're not paying your medical bills. We're not giving you your benefits." And I said, "Wait a minute, you can't do that. There's a law about that." And they actually fought me every step of the way. And I got to tell you, man, feeling that betrayal really changed my life entirely. And I went to go see the sheriff who I worked for 24 years. I said, "How do you treat me like this?" He said, "Randy, it's not personal. It's just business."
Sounds personal to me.
And
but you don't hate the cops. You haven't.
It was shocking to me, and they fought me every way. They spent tens of thousands of dollars of taxpayers' money to fight me. I eventually won. They had to give me my benefits, but they ruined my credit, and the darkness of being betrayed like that. So then, I don't know if you probably might be aware of this, but I was the most featured officer on the TV show Cops. I've written a number of books and been in the movies like Casino and such. So cops started reaching out to me from around the country. "Randy, I know you don't know me, but I was shot in the line of duty. My chief has abandoned me. Randy, I was paralyzed when my police car was hit. They've thrown me away." And I realized that this is not me. This is happening to cops all over the United States. And I realized that all they asked, they said, "I feel forgotten, I feel alone." I just handed you a challenge coin.
Thank you for that.
And on that, it says, "Never forgotten, never alone."
Yeah.
And that is what the Wounded Blue is. My entire team are heroes. Everybody on my team has been shot, stabbed, beaten, run over, screwed up and screwed over, and yet they continue to serve. They serve their brothers and sisters in amazing ways. We're saving lives. We're saving careers. We're saving marriages. And the Wounded Blue is touching lives in ways that you can't even imagine. I'll tell you one quick story because it's a happy ending. I'm not telling you any non-happy endings right now. Police officer in Texas, severely injured in the line of duty during a fight with a suspect, and he was abandoned by his department, lost the ability to walk when we met him. Through an incredible donor, we got him 3 major surgeries. He danced with his daughter at her wedding 3 months ago.
That is beautiful.
Yeah. So we're doing amazing work.
So do you have chapters in just about every major city?
All over the country.
All over the country.
All over the country. I have people here in New York. In fact, one of my people has been featured on the news. He was recently really screwed over by a court. He was a lieutenant at Richie Mack, and he was the officer who was attacked on the bridge during the George Floyd insanity.
Yes, I remember, of course.
And they gave the guy a misdemeanor. They gave the suspect a misdemeanor. And talk about an injustice.
Oh, listen, you wouldn't believe what happens in this city. We have a story just a couple of weeks old. I mentioned his name, Eric Duran. This is a cop.
Very familiar with it.
You know the whole story.
Sure do.
Yeah, I mean, the guy was stopping a drug dealer, traveling at high speeds, putting literally 3 people's lives in danger, and the prick judge, Guy Mitchell in New York, gave this hero cop 3 to 9 years.
It's unbelievable. But this is happening across the United States. I mean, my last book, which came out 6 months ago, Rescuing 911, The Fight for America's Safety. And I talk about how we got here and what we need to do. We all need to become activists, Sid. And even if that means just going to the polls and putting people in positions of authority that need to be there, not idiots like Mondami,
right,
who is about as anti-law enforcement as they get. I can't stand to see what he's doing to this city.
Terrible. You love this city. I know, again, you reared, you made your bones in Princeton, New Jersey. You're here often. I mean, you've been on this show now 4 or 5 times. You'll be in the city all weekend long. So explain to me this beautiful race car.
Oh,
it's a replica.
Man.
It's not going to race at Talladega, but explain to me why it's out there. It looks great. What's going on with all that?
So Insurance King is owned by Dan Block. Dan's father was a disabled police officer. And so Dan saw me on Fox News, reached out to me. This is a number of years ago. Been a huge supporter of the Wounded Blue ever since. Well, Josh Bilicki is the driver, and Josh is an amazing driver. Well, Dan Block, who owns Insurance King, he's the sponsor of this race car that's going to be racing in Talladega this weekend.
So it is racing, but not that specific car.
Not that specific car. It's sister car. So what they did is they are adorning their car with the Wounded Blue colors to bring attention to the Wounded Blue and injured officers. And so we have the car here. They've put the Wounded Blue logos all over it. It is amazing, and so we're celebrating the fact that they're supporting us, and everybody who NASCAR, of course, fans, they love the cops.
Well, NASCAR is real Americans.
Real Americans.
They love the cops. They love the country. They love Trump. They love all the values that we hold near and dear to us. Not these psycho lunatic Democrats who want to destroy all of us. So in that respect, I've never been a huge NASCAR guy. I covered it for many years on CBS.
Right.
And I got to know a lot of the drivers. When Jeff Gordon was winning those Winston Cup Series every year, interviewed him many times. I used to like this guy named Dick Trickle. That was his real name. But after a while, I could only watch the car go around the track so many times. And I'm not here minimizing the athletic ability of these guys. It's amazing. But in terms of just being good people, I think of all the sports in the world today, NASCAR is number one.
I have to agree with you. I mean, this is not the first time they've adorned their car, but this is the biggest race yet.
Talladega. Yeah.
Talladega is Talladega, baby. Right?
Yes.
And so millions of people are going to see the Wounded Blue. And, of course, raising money is so important. You know, everything that we do is everybody's a volunteer except for one person. And I don't take a salary. I live on my pension.
Yeah.
And everything that we do is funded by people who care about their police. So what we're doing is asking this. Go to thewoundedblue.org, see who we are, see what we do. We're asking for people to donate $9.11 a month. And what we say is this. When you need help, you call 911. But when the police need help, they call the Wounded Blue.
That's awesome. God bless you.
I made that up, by the way.
I love that. That gave me chills just now. God, I got chills. You may want to ask the newest Las Vegas resident. He was picked number 1 overall last night by your football team, the Raiders. Fernando Mendoza, who won the Heisman Trophy and the national championship at Indiana, hit him up for donation one of these days because he's about to make a lot of money.
You got his number? I'll give him a call right now.
I'll get it for you. Randy, it's great to see you. You're a true hero, and you're great at this. You're great on television, great on the radio, great cop. You're a great American, and it's nice to see you, pal. Thank you.
I appreciate it, Sid. Thank you for supporting my brothers in blue.
The Wounded Blue, ladies and gentlemen. Find it, reach out, help Randy Sutton and our amazing cops all over the country who do need your help. When you go to Nome, he's going to give you the news. I'm going to go downstairs. I'm going to sit myself in this amazing NASCAR, take some very cool pictures. You can see them on my Twitter account coming up, at Sid Rosenberg 19, my Instagram, at rosenberg.sydney, my Facebook, Sid Rosenberg, and my Truth Social account, Sid. So me and Randy are going to walk downstairs, take some very cool pictures in this NASCAR heading to Talladega.
Thanks for listening to Sid and Friends in the Morning. You can hear Sid and Friends in the Morning weekday mornings at 6. If you like the podcast, share it with your friends and listen anytime at WABCRadio.com and download the WABC Radio app. Hit that subscribe button on all major podcast platforms. Plus, follow WABC on social on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, and X. See you next time for a new episode so you never have to wonder.
What the heck is going on here?